Welcome everybody to Mallwitz's Island Lanes, Grand Island, New York. This is show 2 of Summer BTC Live. We hope everyone was with us for the first show. We crowned our first Summer BTC Live champion, and that was Mike Zarcone. He will be returning as the defending champion on this show, and he faces 3 new competitors. Darrell Brcado, he'll take on CJ Buttery in the first match. The winner will take on Shaq Strong. The winner of that match will look to defeat our defending champ, Mike Zarcone. Welcome everybody. I'm Joe Ciccone. We are with you live for this set of events. The first time we've been live on YouTube, Beat the Champ. We had a tremendous first season of Beat the Champ presented by Storm. We're back for the second show of our summer events. These are separate from our TV shows that you may watch on Madison Square Garden Network, or you may follow along on our YouTube channel. We, in addition to our regular season events, of which we will have 32 more weeks of Beat the Champ presented by Storm, starting in late September. We have 2 summer events that are exclusive live streamed on YouTube, start to finish. We've been on the air since 9:30 this morning. We separated the finals out into 3 separate streams, so that YouTube will properly archive them. So if you're watching this on replay, you're watching the second show. And we've got 3 total shows today. Our first match about to begin. We've got a bowler making their first appearance in a BTC championship round of this sort in Darrell Brcado, one of our regular qualifiers, bowling against CJ Buttery, the bowler who took a run at 300 on Beat the Champ earlier this season. The winner of that match will face Shaq Strong, and the winner of that match will face Mike Zarcone. Players are getting ready. We're getting our scorers programmed up, and we'll get us rolling with match number 1. We are on lanes 7 and 8. Mallwitz's Island Lanes. First of all, one of our great host centers. Without the host centers that are part of the show, we would not have these shows. So absolutely big thanks to all the host centers that are a part of these shows. 24 lane bowling center. We're on the low side on 7 and 8 for our TV pair. 1 through 12 on this side of the house, 13 through 24 on the other side of the house. Opening shot for CJ Buttery, and hey, wow, you started with the first 10 on his first show on Beat the Champ, and might as well start with a strike here too. A lot of stuff to talk about in these matches. A lot of interesting stories going on here. First, let's set up the lane condition that we're bowling on here. We are bowling on the 44-foot U Bowleby pattern. It's a pattern from the Sweden Bowling Federation. 3.24 to 1 ratio. Scores have been moderate all day today. A little bit higher as the day's gone on. Lower on the fresh, not unexpected. We are on the second show with no re-oil, and the third show will also not have a re-oil. And so it'll be interesting to see how these lanes transition. In the first show we only had 1 right-hander, and that was Mike Zarcone. He took the title. In this show we've got 3 right-handers and 1 lefty. So we'll watch how the lanes change throughout the day. And we want to thank everybody that's with us, watching us live on YouTube tonight. Glad to have you. The live chat is open, and we would love to hear from you throughout the night. If you want to say hi, or if you just want to talk to each other, that's what the live chat is for. We want this to be an interactive show for everybody, and so we're glad that you're all here with us, and we had a great first show. Looking forward to 2 more great shows. Darrell Brcado from Lancaster, New York, 34 years old, league average of 235. A unique personality, and he works awful hard to come out here and make these shows every qualifier. I'm sure he's excited to be here today. This young player that he's bowling against now is not a stranger to this atmosphere. CJ Buttery, in his first appearance ever on television, the 18-year-old, only started with the first 10 strikes. Tonawanda Bowling Center. Ring 10 pin for a 289 game. 18-year-old from Cheektowaga. Current league average of 235. Lists one of his biggest honors in bowling, beating Pat Brick on television. I'll give that to Pat. And a chop, not the way he wanted to start this match out. So an early open for CJ, and opens can be overcome. The scores were not that outrageously high. Bounce back strike there for Buttery in the third. Brcado will look to capitalize with an early double here. And ring 10. Darrell was close to making a show last season in Salamanca, Central Lanes. He's one of these bowlers who is always out at these qualifiers, loves to compete. High series of 822 for Darrell. Says he bowls in 5 leagues. 34 years of age again. Bowled well today. Scores were low in the 4 p.m. finals round that determined our finalists that would appear on our 3 live stream shows tonight. Again, they were re-oiled for 4 o'clock. So they bowl in the fresh. We've had an entire show plus practice on this pair now. Still only one right-hander bowled in that first match. So perhaps still a little bit of time for this pair to settle down. Obviously, Darrell playing farther in than we watched Mike Zarcone play in the first match. And he's the type of player that's gonna default to in when he can, so that's not a surprise. I think CJ probably has a few more options that he will go with at different times. I think he certainly can play different parts of the lane. He's going from in here, and Swisher 7 for CJ Buttery. For those of you that aren't familiar with the television portion of our shows and may only watch on YouTube, we are on Madison Square Garden Network every week. And it's the same network where the Buffalo Sabres play. And our show is frequently re-aired after Sabres games. And at KeyBank Center, downtown Buffalo, all of the TVs in the arena are on MSG all the time, and that includes the player locker rooms. And so the week of CJ's show, when he shot 289 on TV, after the Sabres game, home game that day, the entire Buffalo Sabres team found the show on one of the monitors in their locker room and stayed after the game to watch CJ try to shoot 300 and then ultimately try to go on to win that tournament. So that's pretty cool as an 18-year-old that you've got NHL hockey players who, if they were here today, would likely be asking you for your autograph. That's kind of cool. And it's kind of a nice deal for the sport to know that there are people out there watching that are interested, that may play other sports professionally. There's been a long history in Buffalo with Sabres being involved in bowling. Lindy Ruff, the head coach, has always been a big bowler. Good shot there for Darrell. I know a lot of the bowlers have used to stop into different centers and in their off time when they could. And so, it's a unique sports city here. It's always been a great bowling city. And to have these players get a chance to cut their teeth, we've got a lot of up and coming young players who have been on our shows here. These are some players that you could be seeing do bigger and better things somewhere down the line, and so that's pretty cool. Good shot here too. Does it get there? Wow, good shot. I guess not. Firm, perhaps. A little amped up on a double there. Haven't really been any runaways in these matches, other than the semifinal win in the previous show by Keaton. There's been a lot of back and forth action. So really, most of these matches are coming down to which player can perform in the 10th frame. And we saw Mike Zarcone double to win that match in the previous show, and perhaps they weren't his favorite shots. I'm sure he's not going to give them back. .108 through 5 for Brcado, spare up in the 6th. CJ Buttery 67 in the 4th, spare up in the 5th. 19-pin deficit. Gonna look to try to get back into this one. Does he like it or not? A little late. Two, 4, 5. Covers it well. It's going to need to put something together here to try to put some pressure. Left lane now. 7th frame. And high there. He seems to be kind of caught in between just a little bit, or in part of the lane that he's in, if he gets it going a little bit to the right, it doesn't want to read and roll up. At the same time, there's not a lot of push built up in the center of the lane yet. And this is the result. So both of these players choosing to play the center part of the lane. I would expect, since Mike Zarcone played out in the first game, I don't know why he would be moving. His part of the lane is not going to be much touched. And you have a lefty in the next match coming up in Shaq Strong from out of Rochester, New York. Darrell in the 7th frame is light again for a washout. So he has command of this game. I don't think he wants to be giving it back here. Certainly a makeable spare. Doesn't appear that he's changing balls for the spare. Gonna hook at it. And nope. It's 131 through 7 for Brcado, 108 through 7 for Buttery, 23-pin lead. And Darrell will finish this match first, so with the lead, barring a bizarre change here, he's probably going to have a chance to lock this match up. Another missed head pin. This is what you would call limping to the finish line. 1, 2, 4. Makes the spare in the 8th. It's going to be up to CJ Buttery to try to put some heat on here if he can. Doesn't hold. Doesn't get there, right? Wow. So we are sitting directly behind the pair, and to me, the shots that he's made have not looked all that much different from each other. The results have been drastically different. Probably means part of the lane that he's in is probably not best. And given the fact that he probably wouldn't have needed a 250 to win this game, this perhaps would have been the type of game where you kind of get into a more comfortable zone where you know you're not going to get yourself in trouble and hope that you just have just enough more than your opponent. Okay, good shot there. Strike in the 9th, he certainly needed that. It's going to give him 188 if he strikes out. Darrell Brcado is on a 191 pace. So simply staying clean without a loss of count. I'm wondering how there's only one hand up for a 5-pin in the chat. Shouldn't we have had about 50 hands up in the chat for that? Through the nose this time. 8 and a loss of 2 pins in count. So only puts him up 1 in count now. So this is getting into danger area. He's going to need to not only stay clean now, he's going to need to stay clean without losing any count. If he were to go strike spare, he would have 189. That would be enough to lock out CJ. However, if he would go 9 spare strike instead, it puts him at 188, and CJ would have a chance to step up and again force a tie. And, well, this match has taken a turn. 158 through 9. If he were to strike out, he would have 188. CJ Buttery could strike out for 188. I think more importantly here, he absolutely needs to get 20 in the 10th frame. That would at least force a double. Ball change and light hits. Gonna be 178 at the best. Strike 9 spare for CJ would be 177. He's going to need a double as long as Darrell can make this spare and fill 10 on the fill ball. Otherwise, what he's going to need is going to be even reduced from there. Important fill shot, even though it's only going to be a 170 game. I don't think CJ's favorite lane has been the right lane. I don't know if he has a favorite lane. No matter what he does here, it's going to be Buttery's to win in the 10th. And this is not 10. 176 is the final score. That means that CJ now only needs the first, and only maybe an understatement. Strike on the first shot at 9 spare would give him 177. Darrell Brcado on the board at 176. The strike is a must. Without this strike, he cannot win. Through the nose, and it's going to be Darrell Brcado taking the opening match of show 2. Win is a win. I think that Darrell will feel that he's going to need more than that to get another win in this game. Another good showing for CJ, 4th place finish. Final score of 167, 176 to 167 is your final. Darrell Brcado moves on, and he will face Rochester's Shaq Strong in match 2. Players warming up for the second match now. Darrell Brcado does not get any more shots on the TV pair. Shaq Strong gets 4 shots. He can split them up however he wants. And we'll get it going with match number 2. We got a lot to talk about in this match again with Shaq Strong. A lot of interesting stuff as far as his appearance on Beat the Champ this last season. And I know he's probably excited to be back on the show here. Hopefully all of his friends back at the ABC Gates Bowl have the show streaming at the Bowling Center watching him. Again, this is our second of 3 live stream shows live on our YouTube channel tonight. When this show is done, we'll have one more. The YouTube should automatically redirect you to the next stream, so there's nothing that you need to do if you're sitting back, relaxing, watching at home on a smart TV or out watching on a phone. Glad to have you with us. Jump in the chat, say hi. It looks like we're going to be almost ready for our next match. Just getting some behind-the-scenes setting in place for you all to hopefully help you with all your enjoyment of the show at home. And we got a handshake and a match. Shaq Strong's going to get this one started. Left lane for the left-hander from Outer Rochester. Second appearance, if you count TV and live stream together. And shaky start. We've seen several shaky starts today. Spare would be a good way to get out of that one, and it is. Second game for now for Darrell. Will he stick with the ball that he ended the match with? My guess would be he would. And can he put something a little bit more together here? I think he's going to need more than 170 this game. This ball seems to be, well, at the least it seems to be more reactive. And I trust that everybody out there in the audience is going to have hands up on this spare. And there are not that many hands up in the building, however, so either way, he's good. Second match here of our second show. There's a hand up from Gino. Carey. Everybody that's out there watching the stream, if you want to please tell us that your stream is working well for you. I do see one person in the chat that's having some trouble, so I want to be sure that everybody is getting a nice stream to watch. So please, if you're in the chat, just tell us stream looks good, something of that sort, so that we know that what we're putting together here is making it to y'all. Shaq Strong, our number 2 seed on this show, 28 years old, from Rochester, New York, plumbing contractor, bowls in 5 leagues, league average of 223, and that ball is inside a target again. And we'll just pretend that, you know, nobody saw where that ball hits the pins, and you look up at that screen and it's a strike. Everyone says the stream is good. Good to hear. Thank you. Third frame now for Shaq. Got a kind of another interesting story that I'll talk about Shaq next time he's up. Another 5-pin. This may be a record for most 5-pins in one show. Darrell's got his hand up. Seems to be the only one. Anybody out there in the chat? That's a spare. Brcado now up strike working in the third frame. Perhaps. Hey. That's a double. Through 3 frames, a strike here in the fourth, and Darrell is going to be on his way to bettering his last game score in about the 6th frame. Yeah, if you're with us live, thank you for being here. Drop us a like if you haven't done so yet. Be sure to subscribe to the channel. The likes and the subscribes, they do help the channel out a ton. As we bring you more new content, even outside of our normal TV shows. Chance to get some live bowling on in the summer here. I'm sure these players enjoy having a few more tournaments to bowl. Mike Zarcone warming up for our next match down the practice pair. He's just left a pocket 2-4-6 on lane 2. Kind of interesting. However, that's still, I watched one ball of his go down the lane. I guess there's no such thing really as a pocket 2-4-6, is there? Because if you left the 2-pin, technically you didn't really hit the pocket, so I don't really know how to classify that. Anyway, at any rate, one of these two bowlers is going to need to find their way to the pocket if they're going to challenge Mike Zarcone for his title, and perhaps Shaq can get it going. Frank is from Cheektowaga. Thank you for watching, Frank. If you're with us again, we did this last show. We love having you check in and tell us where you're watching from. We have people watching from all over the place. A little better shot there. A little light 3-pin. Trusted that one at least. And he is, although the shots have not been exactly what he's wanted, he is not in a lot of trouble so far. He's in this match. Should be no trouble with the 3-pin. No trouble there. I think that's just a little bit of a matter of making a little bit more confident delivery here. I don't know that he is necessarily in a part of the lane that he can't play. I think he has not trusted his trajectory all that much so far. Anthony's here from Los Angeles. Welcome, Anthony. Glad to have you with us. Will it hold? No, it will not. 2-4. Again, not what he's looking for, and at the same time, makeable spare, and forcing his opponent, who he just watched bowl 170, put something together. This is not unexpected. This is pattern that we're bowling on is a 44-foot pattern. Prada from Connecticut, I think that's how you pronounce that. People Princess from Westchester, welcome everybody. Bristol, Indiana, back again. 44-foot pattern, U-Bowlby pattern. This is from the Sweden Bowling Federation. It is a 3.24 to 1 ratio. And it's presenting a challenge for the players now. And it has presented a challenge all day, really. And no matter what pattern you're on, how they develop largely has to do with how you develop them. And we've got two hookball players in the first match between Darrell and CJ on what was more or less a fresh condition on that side of the lane, because the only one that bowled on it was Mike Zarcone, and he played out. And these two players are both likely going to play in most of the time. That's kind of more their A game. And perhaps this is not developing the way they want it to. And Shaq is really the one that can take advantage of that. Kelly Casey from Maryland, thank you for being with us. And light trip 2, trip forward. Sure, we'll count that as a pocket hit. I think that's what he just said. That's a pocket shot. I'm not sure the only Michel, I'm not sure how to say that. He says that hair is whack. I like that comment. Darrell is steadfast in that hairdo. He bowls our qualifiers all the time, and he's coming with it every time, just like that. Unique personality. We got a lot of unique personalities in these qualifiers. Shaq Strong in the 6 with a spare up. And light hit mixer, and more what he was looking for there. I guess it didn't strike. I'm blocked out by Shaq. I should watch the monitors. 10 pin. Again, we're sitting directly behind this pair of lanes. Similar to with CJ, other than the 2 really errant shots that Shaq made, he seems to be in play. Tim Hart from Fredericksburg, Virginia. Welcome, Tim. Thank you for being with the stream. Hey, if any of you are here for the first time and you like what you see, tell your friends. And if those of you that are watching are competitive bowlers yourselves, listen, our show originates from Buffalo in the Western New York area. You do not have to be from Buffalo and Western New York to bowl these things. If you're within driving distance, we've got events for you. The first weekend of shows for the new season of TV, August 15th to 17th in Rochester. You can qualify and bowl on the shows all in the same weekend, and we'll be taping 4 shows. So if you're watching at home and you wonder, hey, how can I do this? I can't drive in every week to make these shows. Well, we tape 4 at a time. And all you got to do is make a show, get a chance to win and be our champion, be returning. That's enough to knock it over. Clean game so far for Shaq. 115 through 6. Darrell 2 doubles this game. That's going to make it a 2-mark lead for him. He's got 88 through 4, double up 5 and 6. 23 pins is the difference. Does it hook back? No, it does not. It's a precise part of the lane that Darrell's playing, and it requires not only good shots, but consistent touch, or he can be in trouble. So he's missed the headpin several times. He's also got 2 doubles this game. Brandon from Buffalo is here. Brandon, thanks for being on the stream, and glad to have you out here bowling the events today as well. We hope to see you again bowling more in the future. This is trouble. Oh my goodness, Darrell. When you have the lead in these matches and the lanes are difficult, it's imperative that you can stay clean and force your opponent to perform to beat you. Giving them chances back is going to bite you eventually. So that lead that Darrell had is now cut into of his own doing, and it's a 7-pin lead now. He still has the lead, so if he can kind of corral it back together. Brooklyn 5-9. I don't chalk this up to nerves at this point for these players. Unlike our normal TV shows, it's a much smaller scale when we do this live stream here. We don't have the giant set and as many lights or as many cameras. That set can be overwhelming. Don't chalk this up to nerves. Darrell's had some time to settle down. Shaq's been here before. I think they just need to step up and get a few good shots under their belt. Jack will try to put something together here. 8th frame. Is this a better one? Gonna go high. 6-pin. right frame shot there for Shaq. Again, still clean. This is a strange match to call. Shaq can still strike out for 203, and yet I don't feel confident that he, or let me rephrase that, I don't know that he feels confident in stepping up and throw a double. However, can Darrell close this door? Darrell Brcado is on a 202 pace if he goes strike spare out the rest of the way. Jack Strong has a possible 203. Again, this is our second of 3 shows. Our third show is scheduled to start at 9 p.m. Obviously, we're going to be a little later than that to start. Haven't had a lot of strikes in these shows. They're going to go a little bit long. Through the nose, and Brooklyn, and... he tells Shaq sorry, so hey, got to give it to him there. Nonetheless, the strike on a spare saves him from losing any count. So if he were to, no matter what, he's not going to lose count on his first shot in the 10th if he doesn't strike. So a full 20 in the 10th gets him to 202 and forces Shaq to throw all 3 in the 10th, which is a tall task now. And Darrell does not need a double to do another bad shot here. And another set of hands up. By now, everybody in this building should have their hands up. Hey, take your 5-pin and run, and sometimes you just force your opponent. That's a spare. Oh, I like we have not just a hand up in the chat, we have a waving hand in the chat. I like that. We may have set a record for most 5-pins in one game between 2 players in this match. I'm not certain about that. Strike here, and it's 202. He cannot shut Shaq out. If Shaq can somehow put this together in the 10th, he can make his way to the title match. And there you go. Better shot. And you know, that off his hand was... He went for less. What I mean is he didn't try to hit a home run on that shot. He was comfortable hitting a double, and didn't try to overpower it. Just kind of let it be in play, and that's almost really what he has to do. That's almost the most important part. For Shaq Strong, he must strike all 3 times, and he can win this match by 1 pin. This is the first shot in the 10th. That looks better. Nope, light again. 3-pin. Just couldn't get it up the hill. Darrell Brcado gets the win, and somehow he has made his way to the title match. He's going to take on Mike Zarcone. Mike Zarcone looking for his 2nd consecutive BTC Live Championship. And Darrell's going to try to take that from him in the next game. Oh. Middle shot now for Shaq. And who didn't know that ball was going to strike? There's nobody in the building that didn't expect the fill ball to finally strike. It's a 202 to 192 victory. Darrell Brcado moves on, and in steps our defending champion, Mike Zarcone. Mike will get 6 practice shots on the TV pair. Players practicing now, getting ready for the championship match of our second show. As we get our setup ready, Mike Zarcone gets 6 shots. We got an emphatic high from Black Diamond. Glad to have you watching. Continued emphatic high. We have one more live stream show after this one. Players are deciding on this match now. One of these two players is going to be our champion of show 2. And Mike Zarcone is elected to allow Darrell to start this match and force Darrell to have the pressure on him if it comes down to the final shot in the 10th frame. First shot, championship match. Okay, trip 2. Okay, he's got to find a way to kind of put together a medium volatility game here to keep the ball in play, not go for too much until his opponent tells him he has to go for more. Mike Zarcone going to go with a different ball this game than he used in the previous show. Does that mean he's moving? No, he's staying further out, 7-8 board to the gutter, and this ball doesn't quite read up. Now, in the previous game, he appeared to have a decent ball reaction out there until he got the ball too far right, and it started to overreact on him. So is that the reason for the ball change? And does it make his look any better? Again, you got to be thinking about more than one thing here. It's what score do you need to win this game? And how many chances do you take? 2-8 spare. Covers it, no problem. Mike Zarcone is 57 years old from Tonawanda, New York. 230 league average. He was our first Beat the Champ presented by Storm champion of the previous season at Transit Lanes. He won 2 titles there before being defeated. He made a few other shows during the season. And he now was our first summer BTC live champion live on YouTube. And looking for 2 in a row in this game. And that ball is high. To me, Mike's ball speed has not been consistent over these 2 games that he's bowled. And I don't know that some of the shots that overreacted in the first game were more a result of that than they were necessarily with the ball he's throwing. Again, this is not the part of the lane that Mike usually plays. We watched CJ try to play the middle of the lane. We've been watching Darrell try to play the middle of the lane. Perhaps smartly, Mike has tried to play out and looked for something there, and it was enough to get him a win. In fact, he bowled a good game in the first show. 234 in the victory over Keaton Ostrowski. Again, what is it going to take to win this match? You almost have to make your opponent show you that they've got something. This is a better shot here. Is it going to hook back? No. It's just he's just in that part of the lane where if he gets aggressive and makes his shot, it'll go through it real easy. And he can't get it in either. Somebody's going to win. And again, this is we expected. We've seen moderate scores throughout the day on a single pair of lanes now and how they break them down. And Darrell does not make that spare. Bowling on a 44-foot, 3.24 to 1 ratio pattern. Darrell will look to turn it back around in the third frame. 11-pin deficit early to the reigning champion. Winner of this match will be our top seed on our next show. It will be immediately after this, scheduled to start at 9 p.m. There is another live stream already up, and you should be automatically redirected when this live stream is over to the next one. There'll be a short break in between while the next players warm up. Then we'll go right into action. Again, this is the first time that we have been live, and we are live everywhere, and we've seen all of you, and we thank you for watching in the chat. Tell us where you're watching these shows, and even though we are coming to you from Grand Island, New York, you're being viewed from all over the country. People that love watching bowling. In this case, what they're watching is some struggles. Another open for Darrell. That lead of Mike Zarcone's increases to 22 without throwing a shot. Again, you don't want to give anything back here when it's given to you, and that ball is flush. I think that out of all the right-handers we've seen so far on these shows, if Mike makes the shot he wants to make, he at least has an idea of where it's going to go. We have Grims watching from Norway at 3:10 in the morning. Goodness gracious. We're so glad that you all enjoy watching these shows. That is fantastic. And so is that. Grims, I hope you're going to stick around for show 3. In your time, we should be done at about 4:30 or so. 4:30 a.m. I don't. Does that make it Sunday there already, or does that make it? I'm not really good with these things. Is it the day before, the day after? I don't know. That's too much thinking. Double up from Zarcone. 32-pin lead after 4 frames. Darrell is now going to have to get something going. Switches back to the other ball, probably trying to play more offense, and through the break point again. When Darrell goes back and watches this, and perhaps he will take some time to wonder if he could take a page out of what Mike Zarcone has done and move out and play a part of the lane, and perhaps he isn't as comfortable. Yet neither probably is Mike. I'm sure if you ask Mike, this may not be his favorite part of the lane to play. You do what the lanes call for, and another open. Grim says it's Sunday already in Norway. I feel like my whole weekend has just escaped me in that one chat statement. Not only is it Sunday, it's 3 in the morning. I'm good with 3 in the morning if it's still the same day. I'm not good with if it's already, like, if you gotta wake up at 3 in the morning. Like, that's not my wheelhouse. Strike up in the 5th. Zarcone on a double, bowling his 5th frame. Chance to extend the lead even further. Is it in play? Call that in play. This could be a Mike Zarcone day here in Grand Island. Our next show, we've got Mike Johnson in the number 2 seed, and we got Jason Siliberto and Hayden Brock in the first match. And Mike is looking to be there at the top of that step ladder. If he can take down another win here. Oh, solid 7. He's got the luxury of a lead. Over the spare, and he's still in fine shape. Mike likes to hook it at his spares. That is not always the preferred method. It's his preferred method. It's go time now. Strike up. 54 pin deficit for any chance is going to have to start cutting into it. And for all the hands that we've had up throughout this show, there's been a lot of waving at the head pin so far for Darrell. So I think that he did try to move further to the right on that shot. However, it's still nowhere near the zone of the lane where Mike's playing. And not nearly as, I wouldn't say he's more direct. He's definitely softer speed. And Darrell is kind of jamming it through there. Six frames in the books and staring at a big hole. 54 pins. Seems to be in good spirits, enjoying his time out there. Will it read it? It will not read it. We've established, one thing we have established is that it's not going to read it there. Darrell is persistent, if nothing else. He's also using a lot of shine, and it is not helping him smooth out that reaction. Perhaps a little bit of surface. Oh boy. He got it. Perhaps a little bit of surface would have also been a possibility here. That would have at least made this a more predictable ball reaction. Firm command here from Mike Zarcone. Is on his way to a second consecutive win here. And a chance to sweep the night. Yep. It's always been a unique game for Mike Zarcone. Really, the uniqueness of his game is when he does get in a part of the lane where he feels comfortable. His ball goes through the pins the same for long periods of time before he has to make changes, and that's one of the reasons why he's had so many honor scores. It's been on display this game. There's been a few shots that have been errant, and then you have a bunch of shots that they go through the pins the exact same way. Possible 256 for Mike Zarcone, coming off of 234 in the previous show in his only game. Darrell made sure he was going to hit the head pin that time. 6 pin for the spare in the 8th. It's going to be a second place finish for Darrell. Got some experience out there. A few games on live YouTube. I'm sure we'll be seeing him again. I won't be surprised if we see him next week at the Summer BTC live event at Cherry Laurel Lanes. This ball's trouble. Brooklyn. Again, next week we're live on YouTube starting at 9:30 a.m. So 9:38, if it's 9 o'clock here, it's 3:10. So if 9:10 here is 3:10 in the morning in Norway, that's 6 hours difference. So if we next Saturday start our live stream at 9:30 a.m., that would be 3:30 p.m. in Norway. So it's prime viewing time in Norway next Saturday here on our YouTube channel. We're on the air at 9:30 a.m. starting with qualifying rounds. We'll be live streaming all day. 3 rounds qualifying, and then another finals round, and we'll do 3 more stepladder shows, 6 total for the summer. Bowlers got a chance to get out there and bowl in some events, make a few dollars. Same thing. Jammed in the pocket. 234 last show. Gets 6 shots on the TV pair, makes the ball change, and it's on its way to 250 possible here in the 10th. And over, it would be at the least a 100 pin victory if he does that. That ball is high, and it won't be 250, however, it's going to be a win. 3, 4, 7, 10. Easy for me to say. I think he should try to go through the 310 clean and getting neither of them. He's shooting it with a plastic ball. And, oh, he almost did go through the middle of that somehow. 216 is the final score. We'll stay with you for the conclusion of Darrell's game, and then we'll wrap up this stream, and we will move towards our next live stream, which will take place immediately after this one. The next players coming on will get approximately 10 minutes of practice. We'll end this stream and set up the next one. We'll do it all over again. Live from Grand Island, New York. Just, I don't know how many minutes from Toronto. Not far. Not Toronto. We're a long ways from, not a long ways. We're close to Canada. We're a good hour from Toronto. Do we have any viewers in Canada tonight? We should, if we do, someone should jump in the chat and tell us. Or just yell really loud. We may hear you. Fair shot in the 10th. One more fill ball here. It'll be 70 or 70 plus pin victory for Mike Zarcone, who is our now 2-time Summer BTC Live champion. He will sit in the wings and wait while 3 more bowlers try to face him, and he'll try to make it 3 in a row. Final shot for Darrell. Persistent. Mike Zarcone is your winner. And that is show 2 in the books. Join us back again for show 3 coming up in about 10 minutes. We're going to end the stream here, and your next stream should automatically start up for you and be redirected there. Join us for show 3. More bowling action on your way from